What's going on, guys? HQ420 here, back for the first YouTube video for you guys. Today we're going to be looking at a revolution that's going on in the underground. Something people don't know anything about. I'm not talking about the Black Lives Matter. I'm talking about something a little bit different, something a little bit more risque. So let's get into it. This first one, COVID sparks sex bot revolution as people ditch Tinder. Now, for me, I mean, there's other reason to ditch Tinder besides this thing right here. I mean, that's my personal opinion, but that's beyond the point. So, of course, this article from May 23rd, but they were talking about 2 weeks into the lockdown, so about late March. We said sex with strangers via popular online dating apps will become a distant memory for some as virus fears would pull back on sexual desires. Okay, virus fears. All right. So we're gonna go into a direct quote. As Americans are in mass quarantine in order to avoid social gatherings and other people, the good old days of logging into Tinder. Now, how good were they? I don't know. The good old days. That's what they telling me. The good old days of logging into Tinder, Bumble, and or Grindr could be over for now. It's done. Due mostly because having sex with strangers could result in a contraction of the virus. The virus. The virus. Not, I mean, now, they're talking about COVID, okay? Now, if I was going to be concerned about contraction of a virus, I might be a little concerned about this one right here. 41 million HIV and AIDS. 756,000 deaths this year, guys. This year. So, I'll be a little bit more. I mean, then you got syphilis, you got other stuff. There's other stuff that could clip you. So, I mean, look at these numbers. I want y'all to remember that. Now, they said, be scared of this. That's okay. Right here. I mean, this stuff's detrimental. Look at these numbers. All right, but I move on. All right, so back then we pointed out how sex robot company Real Doll, also known as Abyss, was promoting its platinum grade silicone dolls as, okay, platinum grade. Okay, so I mean, it's, you got a silver, platinum, gold. So we mid grade. It ain't gold standard, but we mid grade. As antibacterial. Okay, I mean, if you clean them, they are, and safe. I mean, I'm trying to figure out how they were going to be unsafe. I mean, if somebody can let me know that, put it in the comments below. I mean, I'm just now stumbling upon this, so y'all got to let me know, because I'm out of the loop. All right, now we see that they got a couple of examples right here. Of course, we got the PG-13 going on right now. Well, I don't know, PG-13, you still can see something. We got the what is a PG? So I mean the outline silhouette. So we see that what they got going on right here. As far as with the way they look, they got some more right here. The hotties, petites, the milfs, of course, everybody's favorite. I don't know. Maybe the BBW might be your favorite. I mean, I don't know. So that's so we're seeing these dolls right here. They don't look real at all. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. They don't look real. Period. I mean, now from what this is saying, another direct quote. We are hiring as quickly as we can and have created several new roles in fulfillment management and customer support in both the U.S. and Europe. Okay, so here's what I'm trying to figure out here. They're saying they're hiring as quickly as they can. Okay, they've created several new roles in management and customer support. I can only imagine what kind of what what kind of questions they got coming in there. They're like, hey man, I mean, I got one of your dolls. I'm trying to do something a little risque, a little over the top with it. I can't quite get the leg bent where I want it. I mean, is there a way? I mean, I don't. I mean, that's probably minuscule right there. That's probably nothing. I mean, I'm probably that's not even a that's probably not even the worst of the worst. I mean, I could only imagine, man, these people what they're hearing. I mean, I don't know if I'd want a job in that. Folks be calling me up, telling me how they're gonna stretch the doll out and all kind of stuff. That's a little bit too tough for me. We're gonna cut to this article right here. We'll cut back to the other one right here in a minute. But from this article, and this is coming from the Sex Doll Genie. Yeah, Sex Doll Genie, which saw their order spike by more than 51% during February and March. Now, let me say something here. February won't nobody lock down. March, they didn't lock down to the end. So somebody was getting on board a little early. It's like they knew something was going down. I mean, once again, like I said, I'm out of loop. So I'm finding this out on the back end. All right, another direct quote from him. We have lots of products in stock, but we can't work fast enough to keep up with the demand. The company's co-founder, Janet Stevenson, told the outlet. And once again, they said they're hiring as quickly as possible. So, I mean, so they got products in stock, but they can't keep up with the demand. I mean, ain't nobody told you how many products they had in stock. Now, I'm not going to take y'all to the actual site. I went and looked at the site, Sex Doll Genie. There was another one, Real Doll. I think the real dolls were crazy. The Sex Doll Genie, I mean, those things average like $1,000, $2,000. $1,000 to $2,000. Okay. Now, when you go over to the real doll, they like $8,000. I mean, you can switch out. They like, man, you can switch out heads. You can take a foot off. I'm like, man, stuff's tough right now. I mean, that's a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? For some stuff that can be handled pretty much with relative ease. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you. But here's another thing that they're saying. As far as they've gotten hundreds more inquiries than usual in the past couple months. Of course, like I said, this is old. They've also found themselves short-staffed as sales have skyrocketed amid the pandemic. Short of staff. Well, I mean, I figure you got to have some folks that are good with molding and sculpting and stuff like that. I mean, pretty much some art majors. I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find some art majors that like they say, the poor art student. I was in the art building, poor art student. That's what we all were back there. So I mean, they look in the gig. I don't know if they look in this gig, but I mean, I'm pretty sure you can find somebody. They also said the demand isn't just coming from single men, the demographic traditionally associated with the sex doll market. Direct quote, what's interesting about this massive increase in demand is that we are also seeing a changing demographic, which is very positive for the sex doll industry and speaks to changing attitudes at home. Okay, so they're talking about a changing demographic. So the types of people who actually buy these. Okay, so they're saying that they're now seeing it used mainstream, with both men and women being enthusiastic about bringing the doll into bed. Okay? We're all seeing the sex doll industry go through a sex revolution during the COVID-19 pandemic, with a huge increase of orders from both couples, male and single females. Some couples are bringing it in there. Okay? Now, this is where it gets a little crazy, but I'll jump into that in a second. Okay, so we got another article right here from Forbes where they were talking about, I was talking about the price. So the life-size, full-body sex doll starts around $800. What's crazy, you can get these things from Amazon. I mean, I didn't know Amazon was getting into stuff like that. I thought they just sold, like, computers and, socks, some shoes, clothes. They deliver groceries and all that stuff. But you're talking about $800 is the starting point, with the high end costing up to 8,000, like I was saying. Now you can switch stuff out. This is too much. I'm just letting you know that right now. As in, many people might have fancied trying one out before now, but struggled to justify the cost. Do you think $800 minimum? Okay, now you probably get something, that somebody made in the backyard for cheaper. But I'm just saying, if you want, I ain't gonna say premium grade, but okay grade. All right, you talking about $800, and if you want the creme de la creme, the best of the best, the top of the mountain, $8,000. Well, no duh, people. People are like, man, I can't spend no $8,000 on no doll. I mean, this thing don't even move. I got to do all the moving for it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just a little tough. Now they're saying that it may be straightforward curiosity. So many adult retailers who reported a spike in sales back in March said they thought the increase was down to a try something new attitude. I mean, that what they call the old, they give it the old college try. You try anything once, man. Yeah, but this once might cost you a lot of money. You know what I'm saying? And I don't know if this is the time to be dropping. That's not an asset. I mean, I got to be straight up honest. It's not an asset at all. Um, this ain't something that you're gonna put back on the market later. I don't think it's gonna hold its value. I mean, once you're done with it, but I mean, it's just done. I mean, could you imagine going outside to one of the dumpsters? You got people out there dumpster diving, and they pull one of these things out. I mean, maybe I went too far out there, but my God, this is tough. And a final note on this article: whether this will lead to a boom for the sex doll industry is debatable. Okay, a recent survey of its members by dating site Adult Friend Finder found that while 12% of respondents said they were more likely to consider buying a sex doll during the pandemic, only 5% said they would definitely get one. Okay, so I mean, so let's get real. When they said it's a spike, I mean, they might have been selling 3 or 4. I don't even know how they, well, they probably sold more than that. But let's say to keep a viable company, because I don't think, I mean, obviously they can't be that cheap to make. Let's say they sold 100, and they might jump up to 200. Okay, so 200, 300. I couldn't find the stats on it. If y'all can find the stats, send it to me. Send it to me. Send it to me via Twitter. But I couldn't find the stats on it. I was trying to look for stats, but I couldn't find it. But furthermore, 62% agreed with the statement that self-isolation reminds me that there is nothing like the touch of another person. I'll never get one. Well, good. I'm glad for these 62%. But where are the rest of them? Now, this is 62, 12, that's 74, 5, 79. 79%. What's what are other folks thinking? They just like, man, I ain't gonna say either way. I mean, I want to know. Inquiring minds would like to know. So, in conclusion to her book, Devlin said she doesn't envision mainstream appeal for sex dolls. I couldn't see it myself because it's just too much. I lean more and more towards the opinion that the current hyper-realistic, hyper-sexualized genoid, I probably didn't say that right, is likely to constitute a small and niche market, most likely of interest to those currently buying company sex dolls and those who seek novelty. Now, and they say nevertheless for that niche market, business is currently strong. But a novelty item, I mean, I don't. When you say novelty, I'm thinking like a action figure, a baseball card. I'm not thinking of walking in somebody's house and they have a novelty doll sitting in the corner. But that's just what I'm thinking on that. So we're gonna jump over to another article on the and this one's a little old. This is from 2015. But I found it interesting. It has some interesting points in there. And of course, when this guy was making them, when he was making for synthetics, good God, they were starting at $5,750, and some of them exceeding 25,000. So at least they become more economic. At least that's the case. They won't burn your wallet so much. 5750 to start. That's tough. Um, but right here he says the overwhelming majority of buyers are just people with a fascination for the human body. And Matt argues that many are saner than those you meet on the street. Now, these are people that you meet on the street, okay? The ones with the dolls. So let's not get it twisted. But here's what you got to be careful with your lingo. Just people with a fascination for the human body. There's some serial killers out there with fascinations. So a fascination with there's, you could actually get with a human, one that could communicate with you, talk back, give you feedback. These quotes right here, saner, maybe. I ain't gonna throw them under the bus. I don't know them. Maybe I do know some of them, but I'm uncertain about the saner side. Which I said, there's probably a lot of people walking around with him. You just don't know it. So he's got a picture up here right now. Now look at this picture right here. You got her set up. Look like she's obviously it's middle of the day. She's got a gown hanging off her shoulder, so I guess this is it's supposed to be a teasing moment. But I'm not sure why she has the glass of wine, the doll. The doll's not going to drink the wine. I think this must be the playing role. But got it set right up, got the leg crossed. It's all the way out there, and this is somebody's like backyard. Look at this. Could you imagine you be a neighbor, walk by and be like, who's Bill got in there? You look in there and say, oh my God. You might have to leave the neighborhood. I'm just saying, I might have to. All right, so synthetics. This company back then they didn't mass produce their dolls. They create them over a 6-month period for people. But it said one of the touching stories involves a man who brought a doll for sex, only to discover that he really cared for it, to the point of brushing her hair out of her face as he walked past. I want to know how long it took him to figure that out. Give me some more details. Because, was it after the first night he figured it out? It take him 2 weeks? A month? Because, this is, like I said, the man said saner. He said saner. Okay? Now, this thing can't talk to you. Can't wash your clothes. Get you a sandwich. No banter. You ain't taking it on vacation with you. Well, I guess you ain't. You fold it up and put it in the back. You got to have a big duffel bag, big something to stuff it in. But yeah, that's a little tough. That's a little tough. And soon, back to the article, found a community of friends online. Normal people craving connection. Hey, there's people that crave connection, who frequent internet forums to talk about their dolls and share photos. Now, I'm not sure about that. Now, I don't know what site he was on. They didn't mark the site. I didn't really want to look it up. I'm gonna be honest with you. I didn't want to get all into that. That just, yeah. Like I said, they They can't even talk to you. So I'm not even sure. I'm not even sure if they. I mean, if they go in there and actually talk to these things and like make a sigh voice, or they hear a voice coming back to them through their head, and like I said, my man said saner. Okay, so we said sane. All right. Yeah. So I mean, you look at this guy right here. I mean, he. I mean, wow. This is wow. I mean, he's got the sideways pose. He looks like he's ready to go. Man just got done reading Sex at Dawn. You know, the problem is that you got to go move him from that position. So I mean, I don't know how this works out. So it's just it's kind of weird. I ain't gonna lie to you. It's got a little weird having the full size thing there. You know what I'm saying? So yeah. All right, and as we've seen the actual company Sex Doll Genie, that saw that spike in their sales, they actually had some more to say. They said for one of the brands we have now, it's called AI Tech, which have taken the next leap and have added some AI to it, as hence the name. So by the they're saying coming out by the end of this year, you can hear the heartbeat and hear them breathe. I mean, now we're starting to get a little bit too far out there, ex machina. You know what I'm saying? If y'all haven't seen that movie, I'm trying to tell you is that's what they're starting to move to. They also said I haven't seen them used on a person yet. I can believe that. They probably aren't safe. Just think when these things just start freaking out on you. You know what I'm saying? Beat you to death. So they are still in production, but we're getting to the point where we can call them a sex robot. But technically, they are sex dolls as well. Okay, so they don't want to, draw thin lines. They want to say they're one and the same. And they said, I'm waiting for a way you can just plug in your Alexa or Siri into your doll, and your doll would just start talking to you. I mean, can you have it start talking about current events? Can it tell you the news? What the weather is today? I mean, I mean, I know that this is supposed to alleviate the emotional complex. This doll never gonna leave you, of course, but I just feel like there's gonna be some better connection you can get from an actual person. But they're saying that they already have the technology in their pockets, just haven't used them for the doll yet. Now these are just plans. Now when they say they're just plans, they already told you they're actively working on them. So they're not just plans, they're gonna come into effect. There's nothing official yet, but we're tinkering along with how we can put dolls in a mode where they can just talk to you or flirt with you. You know, all those romantic things you would expect your doll to do. Or maybe a human person to do. That's would be the whole point. Have a to have a human that would actually be able to do it. Not the things you would expect your doll to do. I mean, usually kids play with dolls, but now we're moving into something else. So that's of course you see they got Alita Battle Angel here. They got some other risque photos right up here. So as you can see, they looks like they're going for the more big busty from most of these. So so yeah, this is extremely disturbing. I'm not gonna lie to you. It's kind of disturbing. I mean, like I said, I just couldn't see you going over to your friend's house and saying, "Hey, you want to meet Diane?" Say, "Yeah, I'll meet her." You bring Diane out. He carry her out there to you, and she start talking to you via him, asking a question. So yeah, I'm not sure this is going to be a thing long term. I hope not. For the sake of the human race, we got to find a better way than this. That's just how I feel about it. All right, guys. So in closing, I mean, I got to admit, this whole thing is a little weird for me. If you're one of the people who are currently unfortunately unemployed, getting that extra $600, if you're getting your stimulus checks, and don't waste your money on this. I mean, I just got to be honest with you. I mean, this is just my opinion. I'm not a financial advisor. I mean, I'm hoping the people who were buying these already were sitting on a pile of cash, and it didn't matter. I mean, that's what I'm hoping. I'm hoping nobody ain't take that $1,200 and said, "Man, this is where I'm at now." But I got to get one of these. I'm gonna be on lockdown for a while. I mean, there's so many other options besides this. And for the people who were saying that, I'm getting off Tinder because I'm scared of the COVID. It's like, really? I mean, the COVID. I mean, all the other STDs that you could get, but the reason that the straw that broke the camel's back was the COVID. I mean, let's get serious. So I mean, put your money elsewhere. It's a strict no go for me. A strict no go. That's just how I feel about it. If you guys enjoyed the content, please rate, share, subscribe, leave a comment in the comment section below. Give me the thumbs up, hit the bell notification for more videos, and I hope to see y'all on the next one. Peace out.